Good morning, everybody. It is day number 2, building the business, and it's Monday, Cyber Monday. I'm very sleepy today. I think I slept in too long. I think I slept in all the way till 5 o'clock this morning, but that was a little late for me. And listen, so today I should be talking about Cyber Monday deals, but I'm not going to. I will put a link in the description. I did a video just touching on promotions and stuff, and what we should be doing as vacation rental managers for Cyber Monday, Black Friday, things like that. But today I actually want to give you a little bit of value. It's already day 2. We know that it talked about yesterday, building the business and starting this Martin Vacation Properties, like actually instead of a hobby, going out to full-fledged vacation rental business and what it takes to build that. So the first thing obviously that everybody needs is a website. You need a website, and I'm going to try to bring in some value here. I'm currently building my website, but because I've been in technology so long, I've built websites using templates. I've built sites by hand and hand coded them fully from start to finish. So I think I can provide a little bit of insights here. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And like I said, I'll put a link to the description talking about like Cyber Monday and stuff like that. And today is going to be about the technology and what to choose for your website. And, talking about, if you get somebody to do it for you because you're not going to do it yourself, and what to do there. And then we'll talk about, as the days progress here, we'll talk about what I think should go into that website. Looking forward to any comments that you guys might have. You might be watching this years later, so I might not see the comments, but if you're, getting into this now, the very few people that are watching this, I'd love to see your comments as we go through. But listen, on choosing a website, this would be useful for any business that you're in, depending on what you're in, as long as it's like a service business. So let me say that for service businesses, this advice that I'm going to give you today will be absolutely 100% relevant to you. Okay, so let's talk about websites. So what is a website? What are the types of websites? There are websites that people use that are considered actual software, right? So that would be any kind of like SaaS business, like your QuickBooks Online, your PMS softwares that you're using like Guesty or Streamline. Those would be considered SaaS, and those generally will be built from the ground up with proprietary software. So they're being built and hand-coded by the developers at that company using tons of different open source frameworks. And the other thing we're going to talk about today is open source. The other types of websites out there are just landing pages, like so for specific, like if you had like a product that you wanted to sell, you could create a landing page for that and then create a funnel system around that through like email marketing, YouTube videos, things like that. You're just giving a place. It's something that even if you're handing out cards or you've got specials or you're doing ads on Facebook or anywhere else and you're just promoting something and you need a place for those people to land to continue down the process of being able to purchase something from you, like a product or something like that, you would create a specific landing page instead of just dumping them out onto your whole website. So it's more of a custom experience for the person that your customer who you're trying to sell. Let's take it, for instance, because it is Cyber Monday. If I put out a specific deal for a specific experience or for a specific cabin rental for a certain period of time, instead of just dumping them out on my website and having them go ahead and fill out the information to be able to get to a certain, to those certain dates, I might create that landing page or that actual page. Like I might fill out the information and grab that specific URL and use that as my URL. I might even shorten it, but that might be my landing page. So that like customizes the experience for that guest. So that's another type of website. And then there is the marketing/service website, where basically we are promoting a product or service, and the most custom we get would be to, collect contact information, sign up for newsletters, be able to do different things like, allow a customer to purchase something, buy a course, schedule an appointment, do things like that. Things that are natural, like there's a lot of, it's not anything that's just specifically, it's not specific to your specific business, meaning you do it, but many other people also do it. So whether it's, again, like appointments, services, selling products like in a store, any kind of booking vacations, hotels, things like that. These things are things that multiple people do. It's the same. The product may be different, but the process in which the user interacts with it is the same. And so we're all used to a certain kind of experience. When you go to Amazon and buy something, it's the same type of experience as if you go to another website and purchase something on their website. You know that you're going to add a product to your cart or bag, and you're going to go and check out. It's all the same kind of experience. Nobody's like recreating that experience. So that's another type of website. So that's the type of website that I'm going to talk about today, because that's the type of website that I need to build for my vacation rental management company. And because now that I'm adding services to this company, like where I'm going to be offering to manage other people's properties. I'm going to offer services to, maintenance services, inspection services, and other types of services that we're going to offer. I need a site, I need a place to be able to disseminate that information, whether I'm doing, like promotions or handing out cards. I need a place for those folks to go. Okay. So here's my advice as somebody that's been in technology for a long time and can evaluate what the cost of things are. It costs a lot of money to build websites. A custom website. If you wanted to build a custom website and have it coded, if you're not a person that codes and you don't know how to code and you're not a developer, it's going to cost you a lot of money to build a customized website from the ground up, meaning that you're going to hand them all the information and they're going to go in and customize you, because you got in your brain, you want everything to specifically look a certain way. You want animations to come in a certain way. You want to provide proprietary type experiences for your guests and some functionality that nobody else offers. It's going to cost you a lot of money. I mean, into the millions of dollars to get that done right. By developers are not cheap. Today's average developer makes about $150,000 a year, and that's if you're getting them in the eastern United States. If you go out west, they can make up to $300,000, and they do not get as much work done as you think. Even with AI today, it still takes a monumental amount of time to build a website. And so, places where we build our own websites is like, for example, whenever I built this vacation back office software. So it's actually a software. So back in the back end, there's proprietary code that does all of the calculations and all of the talking with different APIs and things like that to be able to produce the results that we produce. The website behind it, the interaction between the user and the back-end proprietary software is a custom website, and that takes a long time to build. It's taken me almost 2 years now to just add the UI functionality, means the user interface functionality, and that's not even considering the 5 years I've spent building the actual proprietary code behind that user interface that does all of the work. Okay, so it takes a long time, takes a lot of money to do that. So I would not think that a vacation rental management company or any other service business would want to get into that kind of investment to get their site. It's more like, hey, I got this idea. I want to start this service. I need to be up and running next week. Luckily for you guys, we're in a time today in the world where things are really accessible and things have moved and come a very, very long way from where they were in the past. Not everybody is 100% technical, and things do take a little bit of effort, but we can lessen the cost of things today by using what's called open source, right? So open source makes things a lot cheaper, a lot more accessible. So the idea of open source is somebody decides to build like a framework of something, right? So let's say that these websites, these services websites, somebody recognizes that, hey, it takes a lot of effort to build a service website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it, and then I'm going to open source that. I'm going to make the code available to other developers and let them add on to it to make it better so that it's a crowdsourced type thing where I can't take it very far on my own, but if I allow 2,000 other developers at this, open source it, meaning they can use it for their own projects absolutely free, put them into other product offerings that they may be offering and to sell it, then my original thing that I set up got way better than it could have been if I would have just kept it all to myself and tried to build it on my own. All right, so an example of open source would be in what we're talking about for these websites would be WordPress. WordPress is probably the most popular website template type site that you can get out there today. So other examples would be like a Joomla would be another open source type of website template thing that you could use. I've also used that one. It's a little difficult. WordPress is by far the easiest, most accessible, and has been the most widely accepted. And one thing that is really beneficial whenever we're talking about open source and talking about WordPress is one thing that's it's easy to get into, so it's very cheap. Like it's very inexpensive to grab a hold of. People have made hundreds of thousands of templates that you could use today. You could grab those, use them today, and you almost have a website, instantly available. Just change out the text and the pictures, and you're good to go. But it's inexpensive. It's portable, which is one thing that's really important these days. So, like, I'm not stuck to a specific service provider. Like, I'm not stuck. I can grab my WordPress site. I can download a backup of that site anytime that I want. I can have it on my local machine. And if I end up not liking my service provider, like they go and raise rates, like double their rates, or they're not providing the level of service that I need, or I need to be able to scale a lot higher than maybe the service provider that I chose. And when I say service provider, I mean a place that you can actually launch a website like SiteGround or GoDaddy or Bluehost or any of those places like that. You can literally launch a website and pay them a monthly fee and manage your website. And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of places you can host websites. And WordPress is the most highly portable site out there. I mean, there's a lot that will allow you just in a few clicks to be able to migrate your WordPress site over to their service, and it's just a few clicks and it's done very, very easily. Something that and so that's always what I suggest. It may not be as easy, and you need to be a little bit more technical to be able to handle some of these things. And that's where other services come in, like SaaS services. So SaaS just means software as a service. So an example of that would be what's very popular is Wix, right? You've heard of Wix websites, and you've heard of Squarespace. Squarespace is another example of a SaaS website building provider. But what this does is it limits you. Even though they give you a great software to be able to come in and just kind of drag and drop elements and build your website, and they have templates you can choose from and things like that. GoDaddy also is another one that is like a SaaS website building platform. But if you build those sites, and I have used them, I've used Squarespace, I've used GoDaddy to build certain sites. Usually I would do that if it's not a very important site. Maybe it's a landing page, I want to get it out quickly. I need it to be something that's it's temporal. I'm going to build it. I'm going to get it out there because I can build it in one day. It's now out there, and maybe it's just a landing page. Maybe it's a small website that's going to be used temporarily while I'm building another site. But I would not want to put my long-term success, especially in the day and age which we live in right now, where we live in like a cancel culture, and we've heard of people getting their websites canceled and things like that, and losing all their proprietary information and stuff like that, and then they have to go back to the drawing board and build their websites. So I would not suggest doing those, even though unless it's on a temporary basis, they're great for, it's like, hey, I need a site, I need it today. I don't want to go buy a website for $59. I don't want to go buy a template for $59, build it up just to do for a one-page site. I might go to GoDaddy, launch this thing that's going to cost me $9 for the first month, get the free website builder. Same thing with Squarespace or Wix. They have cheaper versions for things that you're going to do. You can get up and running very quickly. They have images and things like that you can use, and that's a great option. But for your vacation rental management company, I would go with something like a WordPress theme. I would go to, this is themeforest.net. You can go there. They got thousands of different templates. And don't worry too much about the theme, like meaning, they have hundreds of sites for like different things, for like portfolios and marketing and software as a service and plumbing and real estate and all of that stuff. I would find what seems to work the best is look for something like service. Any kind of service template would probably work. You're going to switch out all of the pictures. You're going to switch out all of the text anyway. And so your best bet is just to find the one that has the layout and the feel that you're looking for, the animations that you're looking for, the type of images that you're looking for, the colors that you're looking for, the thing that kind of matches your business the best. Go with that and choose one of those. Generally, these are only going to cost between $50, anywhere from $30 to $50. And you can be up and running with one of these templates. If you're just a little bit technical, you can be up and running with one of these templates very quickly. The one thing that I would suggest is looking into these. Some of these have like builders with them, like there's builders called Divi, D-I-V-I, Divi Builder, and Elementor. These are WordPress theme drag and drop builders that allow you to kind of do what Wix and Squarespace do. So they make the building of your WordPress site a little bit easier. And the other thing that I want to throw out here is with WordPress, there is, because it's open source and because it's so widely used, there is thousands I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of plugins for just about anything that you need to do. If you wanted to open up a membership site, there's membership plugins. If you need shopping to sell different stuff to your guests and things like that, there is shopping plugins that you can use that make it real easy to throw your products in there and make them purchasable. If you need chatbots, there's different plugins out there that'll do that. There's absolutely thousands of plugins. Anything that you can think of that people have done, there's going to be a plugin for it. And actually, to be honest with you, if you needed something custom that nobody else has done, it would, instead of building a custom website, it'd be much cheaper for you to grab one of these and have you, a developer, build you a plugin that to a WordPress site that would then do the functionality that you would want. Today, in today's day and age, ChatGPT could build you a custom plugin for WordPress almost instantly and have it working. So it doesn't take much to do some of these things, and that would definitely be my suggestion. If you're not very technical and you're not a technical person, it's probably going to be best that you hire somebody to do this work for you. If you specifically, but what I would do is I would pick the template. There's a couple of things that there are pitfalls that you're going to have to not get into. So if you have somebody build you a site, these are the most important things, and I should have listed them out here, but we talked about yesterday about how Anthony, I'm going to talk about myself in the third person, how I prepare like 2 seconds before I do something. So, okay. All right. But always get it done and always get it done right. That's the key, persistence in getting things done. All right. So here's my suggestion. If you're going to hire somebody to do one of these sites for you, you pick the template. You pick the host. You own the account. You want to own the account. You get that developer is signed up as a user on that account that you can then delete their account. Don't get into the trap where they say, okay, well, we'll build the site and it'll be this much, and then we'll put this on our account. We'll maintain the site for you for, $200 a month or whatever. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. Not in this day and age. You don't need to do that. There's not a whole lot of stuff that you would need to do. And really the best thing to do is, especially if you're a larger vacation rental company, you probably got some technical people on, you don't even know it, but you got some technical people working for you, and they could probably go in and make any changes that you would need them to make. And the best thing to do is kind of learn this for yourself, because little changes can be made within seconds on your site very, very easily when you need to update something or add something or do something like that. So I'll also be available, we might have some consulting and through Host Possible. And so you might be able to, this might be something that we can help you with and give you some guidance on how to get your site up and going and what you could use and who you should get. But there's sites out there. So one of my favorite websites to use for projects like this is called Fiverr. And that is Fiverr, I believe, Fiverr.com. And you can go on there and you can find and hire folks to be able to do this work for you, like one-time things. It's very reasonable prices. Don't get caught up into the thing where you think, well, if somebody's more expensive, they're probably better. That is not true at all. Actually, the more likely, if they're cheaper, they're actually better. But what you want to do when you're using these things is not only do you want to do a little bit of research and pick the template. You don't want to pay nobody to pick your template for you. You need to pick the template. Just go out there and type in services WordPress theme and start searching. Find one, purchase it. Then you want to also provide all of the images for the folks to be able to use. You do not want them choosing your images. You don't want them to have to get the licensing for these images. If you're in business today, you need to get the Adobe Creative Suite. It's about $60 a month. That'll give you access to Adobe Express in Adobe Express, anybody can be super creative. There's thousands of templates. You can just drag and drop. You can drag and drop any assets you want, from music to videos to images. It's all licensed. It's all good. You can use those to create any images you need for your website. And then as far as your text goes, you may not be very creative, but you kind of have an idea of what you want. You need to get either the free subscription or the paid subscription to ChatGPT. Get on ChatGPT and start a conversation with ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm building my vacation rental management site. And you talk to it just like you would talk to any other employee or person or somebody consultant that's trying to help you. And you say, I need to start creating this website. Take an image, a screenshot. So you can take here's the thing you could do with ChatGPT. You can take a screenshot of whatever the template looks like and say, can you help me get the text ready for each section that I can provide to the builder of this site? And they will, and you can upload that to ChatGPT and then say, try not to give it to all of it at one time. Just you give stuff as context in the beginning, and then you work it one section at a time and say, hey, let's work on the first section. And what should the title be? Give me like 10 options. Hey, what would the description be? Give me 10 options. And say, hey, I like option 3, but let's tweak it a little bit because I don't like the tone of that. And I like this. Let's use this tone and this theme throughout the whole thing. You can literally talk to ChatGPT as a consultant and keep everything in the same feed. Don't start new chats for it. Use the same chat for the whole project. It'll give you all the text. And then when you go on Fiverr, you're like, okay, here is my image package. Here is my text package. And all I need you to do is put it all together in the site. And instead of you having to go in and try to figure out how to update all of that stuff, they'll do it likely in less than a day if you've provided them the text and the images. And you might get away with a couple of $100 and they've just changed out all your stuff. They're really quick at it, and you set them up as a user on your site, your hosting thing, and they'll upload the site, the template, and do all of that for you. They'll change out all of the stuff, and you're done. And within a couple of days to a week, just depending on how long it takes you to get all of your stuff together, you have a full working website, and at a very cheap cost that you actually own, and you can move anywhere you want, and you don't have really any ongoing cost other than the hosting. And if you've got this guy now on Fiverr, you can save them as a favorite, and then anytime you need an update to your website, you can activate their user in your hosting platform like GoDaddy or SiteGround or Bluehost, and you just go put in any details you need them to do to change it, and change whatever you need changed, or update, or add a page, or add a plugin, or any of that, and then boom, you're done. I would also just suggest, if you want to add specific plugins or do something extremely difficult, you do a little bit of research on your own. It'll save you a lot of money, and it'll keep you out of trouble. Go and look for the WordPress plugin that you want, because usually there's several options, like on membership plugins and stuff like that. Look at their features. Make sure it provides everything you need, because the worst thing that you can do, let's just talk about membership plugins for a second. So let's say that you wanted to start a membership site, or you had some sort of membership part of your vacation rentals, and you get because maybe it's a wine club or something like that. And, you went out and you got on Fiverr and it's like, hey, I need to add a membership capabilities to my, I need a membership capability, and I want to do this and do that. And you get a guy on Fiverr that's like, oh, you should just be on Customer Hub. And so they set you up on Customer Hub, and now it's not even related to your website. They don't have all the functionality you need, when really you needed Member Mouse for your WordPress plugin. for your WordPress site. So it's better for you to go do the research and then tell them what you need than it is for you to let them guess and try to figure it out. I do the same thing whenever I'm going to the doctor. I really don't like them to try to figure it out. I've done that in the past. They don't know everything about your life. They don't know everything about what you're doing. And most of us don't have time to, they only give you like 15 minutes when you go in there or less, 5 minutes, and you're expected to be able to, fill them in on everything that's going on in life. So what I've found is it's much better and much easier if I try to self-diagnose and at least lead them into what I need the professional to do. It's like, okay, here's what I think is going on. Now fix it. And, because based on my research, this is exactly the symptoms I'm having. This is exactly what I'm doing. And here's what I've messed up and blah, blah, blah. And then they give you the, hey, let's fix it, right? I figured out one time I was overdosing on vitamin A, right? So then it's like, okay, it's easier to tell the doctor, hey, I'm overdosed on vitamin A because I didn't realize I was supposed to be taking 1 drop instead of 1 dropper of this stuff. So, they, and then it's like, okay, well, now that you figured that out, let's do this, this, and this, instead of me going in and saying, hey doc, I'm about to die and I don't know why. And then they have to go about trying to figure out what in the world is going on. And they spend a lot of money and time doing tests and things like that. That was what will happen to you if you're just saying, hey, I need this site or whatever for my business. And then you just let them go at it. Most of them aren't capable of doing that. I've worked with developers for, many years and hired tons of them. And there's 2 types of developers. There is a mechanic developer that is able to work on existing code and make better existing code. And then there are actual inventors, people that can actually invent code and write new code and come up with ideas. So I'm a guy that, we can talk about something off of a napkin and concept it, and I can go out and make it happen, right, from beginning to end. And those are about, 5% of your actual developers can do that. Those are the ones that are out there coming up with all these cool ideas and all these things that you see today. And then there are the supporting actors, which are the developers that, they have to be given a step-by-step guide on, hey, here's what I want. And they'll go out and make an attempt at it. And then you've got your developers that are the concept guys that go out and say, okay, well, this is not how we need it to be. We need it to be this way, and this way. And that's where you actually get all of your good stuff. So you can expect on Fiverr what you're going to be dealing with is not concept guys. You're dealing with step-by-steppers. So you need to give them the step-by-step. You need to be the visionary. You need to be the one. You need to be the driver. You need to be the one telling them how they need to do this, and what you want, and be real concise about what you want. The more prepared you are going in, the less money you're going to spend. And if you feel like you're smart and want to try to attack it, you do have the ability to make this happen. You can go in and you can build your own. You can build your own site. You can grab you a WordPress theme. You can upload it to your, whatever hosting account. You can, once you use ChatGPT and like Adobe Express, you will be able to go in and build these sites yourself. Most of them are drag and drop. You're not going to have to do any code or anything like that. And ChatGPT can also help you. Like, you can say, hey, I'm using Elementor and I can't figure out how to do this in my WordPress site. And it'll give you like a step-by-step. Or I'm using Divi and, I don't know how to do this. Show me how to do this. And it'll show you. And I would suggest that you don't get any kind of site. This would be my last recommendation because I'm just now remembering it. But when looking at these themes, it's important. Look at the higher priced ones to see if they actually include the the actual plugin, the builder plugin. So the builder would be something like Elementor or Divi, and they're the most popular. And I wouldn't even buy, to be honest with you, I would not buy a theme, even if you liked it, that wasn't based on like a Divi or an Elementor, period. You need those, and that's going to make your life the easiest and cheapest as you're going forward. So, but what's important is make sure that it actually includes the plugins that are used in the site. So, like when I purchase it, I want the actual subscription or the purchase of that plugin to be included in the cost of the theme, so that I don't have to go out and buy those individually. So I've done it both ways. I've done it where, I got suckered into a theme and I was like, oh man, now I have to go buy these plugins too, so that my theme actually works. And then I've had others that it's like, oh, okay, it's already included and I just got to go activate it. And, so I've already paid up and everything that I bought, it's like, okay, now I've got a working theme. It does everything I need it to do. So that's very important knowledge. So you want to, I don't know what that was. I hit a button. Don't do that. I don't need to do that. But this is day 2. I hope you got some valuable information from today. And what we're going to do as we go forward is, like tomorrow, I'm thinking we'll probably start digging into like how should your site be set up to actually do what you want it to do, and the best like user type experience that you can have. And how do we weld the guest experience with the fact that we also need to sell and get new property owners and stuff like that, and what else could we actually add to the website. So this is day 2, and stay tuned till tomorrow. Thanks, guys.